Yeah, I had the stroke May 4th, sometime during the evening. I was sleeping because when I got out of bed, I just I couldn't get I got out of bed and whoosh. So I was lucky that I was able to catch myself without breaking anything. And I had my office chair just a little ways away, so we got that over there, got me in the chair, and then I had her get me a bunch of aspirin. I took 3 baby aspirins and 2 big aspirins to help stop anything worse. Said if I had had a vein stroke, it probably would have taken the aspirins, probably would have killed me.
Oh. Wow.
But I would rather be dead than a vegetable.
What kind of stroke was it then?
It's a blockage.
It was blockage.
Yeah. It was, yeah, so I'm taking Xarelto now.
Okay. And then, so you were in the hospital for how long?
5 weeks.
5 weeks?
Yeah.
And when did rehab
Well, that's
start?
part of rehab. I was only in the hospital for 3 days, 2 days. And then I was in rehab for 5 weeks. And I was 6 days a week, 3 to 4 hours a day. I mean, I couldn't move my foot. I couldn't do that. She said, "Well, move your foot." Okay, yeah, okay. No, I don't move. So that was just getting that foot moving was the first step. And I was sitting there in my wheelchair looking at these people actually walking. And I said, that's quite a privilege, being able to walk. It takes a lot more skill than people think. So I was then getting something at the medical supply place. And I saw this walker, it had a white chair so I could sit down. It had pretty large wheels. I said, oh, that would make a good off-road vehicle. So we got that, and that's when I started going out and photographing. I did several shots. There's one shot in Mayaca that I tried doing, and I think it took me 6 visits to that shot before I got it. The first time I was trying to do it I was actually in the rain. I had my umbrella with the walker, and it was just didn't work. It was I was getting some glare on the lens, and finally went back and everything, because I'd come back, oh, water's wrong, come back, oh, it's too much wind, or there's always something wrong. I finally have the shot, got the shot, and then when the water goes down in Mayaca, I like it when it's wet. So I think it was sometime in December, we were going to go out to the boardwalk where the birds are. And I saw this oak tree. And I said, oh, now that could be an interesting shot. And I had to take my walker and carry it over logs. And but it was a pretty good distance. Then the next series of shots was at Cedar Key. And I think that's where I messed my wheels up. So I was out with the walker in the salt water. I had to have my bearings replaced, the wheels replaced last week. You see this possible of a neat shot. You gotta somehow get there. So the photographs drew me to these locations. It was an excuse to get out and do something. And I think that would be very important for all kinds of people to take a message from that. Particularly people coming back from war with injuries, pick up something that they can put their soul and mind into. Photography, music, whatever, but you have to have a goal in life, I think, and you have to have something that those photographs draw me out there. I was down in Everglades National Park about 2 weeks ago, And there's supposed to be the biggest mahogany tree in Florida there. I photographed it once with an 8x10, but I wanted to photograph it with a digital because I could get a different angle. It was 8x10 was difficult. But that is a half a mile or 3/4 of a mile on the boardwalk. So that was a fun adventure, getting there and back. Now, first I took the wrong turn, went the wrong way. I said, uh-oh, went back and went the other way. And I waited there. What's really nice about the walker, though, when I'm waiting for the light, just sit there in my walker and wait. I mean, when I get well, I'm keeping that sucker. This is a great photography prop. How do I say it? It's really been actually good for me, because now I have to look for different types of shots because of the limited ability to get to these places. So actually I've used a long lens. I normally use wide angle. I used a 135 millimeter lens the other day. Wow. And then I used a 200 millimeter. Wow. I mean, I hardly ever do that. But when I shot the one with the supermoon at Mayaca, I had to use a ladder to get up to where I wanted it over this fence. And Nicky put the shot of me on the ladder on the internet, and my doctor saw that. He went hysterical. He says, "You can't get on those ladders. You fall, you kill yourself because you'll get internal bleeding and die. Don't do that again." So you gotta be careful what she puts on the internet. I research. Nicky and I drove around about 3 or 4 days looking for that shot. And because if you look on the internet, you can get the time the thing comes up, the angle it comes up. You can get exactly where you're going to do. So, of course, they didn't do that. So I'm out there. Right? We go out, and it's on an airport called Airport Road. It's by this big airport. It's an airport that never got built. It's called the Jetport. So we drive up, I set my camera down, I set my little walker down, set my camera up, and there's no moon. I'm sitting there waiting, and they're running around looking, and when it comes up, they're photographing and running around. And I'm just sitting there, and then I took one shot, and that was it. And they looked at my picture, and they said, "Oh boy, all you did is sit there and wait for it." I spent 3 or 4 days looking for that place to sit and wait for it. Yeah. Next year we're hoping to do what we are doing, because I have enough shots now on the moon, because it's the 50th anniversary of us landing on the moon. I thought that would be appropriate to do that, since I've always been into Star Trek and Star Wars and outer space and the possibility of what the universe is. But we're also going to put John Glenn taking off in, because I was pretty excited to be able to photograph John Glenn going up in the space shuttle. I thought that would be kind of I'm not sure it's going to be the first one or the end one. I think it'd be the end one, because we didn't use the space shuttle to get to the moon.